It's already live. Live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's glad that we are making a good progress. So many emails, so many messages, questions, and one question I said to myself, somebody was asking, नया ईयर में resolution क्या लूँ? What a question. If you can wait for New Year, you don't have an urgency, and when you don't have an urgency, you will not change. आप resolution ले लो, आपको अगर urgency नहीं है उसको करने का, तो आप उस पर काम नहीं कर पाओगे. फिर आप resolution या कोई भी अगर चलना है तो वो अभी से शुरू होता है. आप जो है जैसे हैं जिंदगी में जो भी पा रहे हैं, वो आप क्या है वो तय करता है. ऐसा बनिए, then you meet right talks about that. स्लो हैं, ये भी फोटो चलता करते हैं, मैसेज भी करता है, तो हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. क्या है जैसे मैं वहां से आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. हम लोग सोच रहे हैं, ड्रीम कर रहे हैं और वही है. आपकी इमेजिनेशन आपकी अपनी लिमिटेशन है. लाइफ में ऐसा कुछ नहीं है जो आप नहीं पा सकते. गोल 2021 ये गोल मैसेज की तरह काम करेगा. आपको अपनी तरफ जब आप भी गोल बनाते हैं तो आपका पूरा दिमाग एक न्यूरॉन न्यूरॉन से कनेक्ट करते हैं, सब आपको उसी तरफ लेके जाते हैं. तो एक और आपकी यहाँ एक बताइए जाना का गोल फॉर 2021. अगर आपको लगता है कि आप गोल कर रहे हैं और आप पूछ सकते हैं तो सब कुछ करना चाहिए. I must
I cannot hear anything clearly.
Yeah, Archana, I think Shipra, would you help us? I think Archana is not audible. Okay. I think Archana has a network glitch through which we're not able to hear you very clearly. Sorry for the basic problem. I think this problem is expected in most of the lives because there has to be a technology, there has to be a thing. So, and we're used to all of this. So thank you, Archana. Thank you so much for the lovely positive start that you always do. And of course, a very warm welcome to all our guests and the lovely audience who join us on the ride New You in 2021 in our journey with our guests today. I'm sure all our audiences are waiting to hear what our guests have to say about their journeys and about how can we be the new us in the new year, in the coming 2021. So that generally, in these days of every year, we are planning and we're doing introspections of what went well and what was not so good and what resolutions to make for the coming new year. But this year is a little different because unfortunately, we've been through a very tough phase and still in the phase to some extent of the pandemic, which gave us a lot of time to do the introspection because we were all in the lockdown, having loads of time to think about what we need, what is not so important. Apart from that, I'm sure we've got a good bunch of learnings through this pandemic. And going forward, yes, somewhere we are all very hopeful that 2021, all these learnings are going to help us a lot. So with that thought, and before actually introducing our guests that we have with us today, I would just want to share a little bit on my happiness because when I'm myself a socialpreneur and I'm myself a social activist, so when I come to know about the new startup or the young entrepreneurs who are coming ahead, who are coming forward, getting to the line of entrepreneurship, but they are very clear that they are not just entrepreneurs. These are people who are achievers. who are not into business only for their profits. They are intelligent people who are there into entrepreneurship, definitely for work, but also for their passion to serve the society and work towards the social inequalities. So when I think of these achievers, it's really it gives me a lot of happiness because I'm sure going forward, if we see 10 years down the line, I think each one of us and all our youth would have been to that level where social entrepreneurship would have changed, I'm sure, would have changed the life of the poor to some extent. With that thought, let me go ahead and formally introduce our guest for today. So we have with us Meghna Joshi, who's a social entrepreneur. In my language, it's sociopreneurs. She is a sociopreneur by profession, an artist by heart, an ardent nature enthusiast, and yes, a trekker. That's very exciting, Meghna, to know you that well. You are a versatile personality. She is also the founder MD at Swan Livelihood and state head at GBBC Campus Bird Count for Delhi. As we go ahead in the conversation today, I'm sure she will have lots to share with us about what she's been doing and why is she here today. Welcome, Meghna. We're glad we have you here today with us.
Thank you.
Once again, welcome.
Thank you so much, Pooja. Thank you so much, Pooja, for the warm welcome and for also having me here. It's a privilege. Yeah.
We're glad. We also have with us Simran Parmar, who is a product design by profession, currently working in collaboration with refugees in Turkey and specially able children at Ahmedabad. She has initiated two brilliant projects during the COVID in form of books. One of them is named Pandemic Overthinking. I think it's the need of the hour, Simran. And the second one is in simple, non legislative language. We'll know more about it, I'm sure, during the conversation. Hearty welcome, Simran. We're glad you're here today with us.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to be here and learn from everyone.
Looking forward to it. I'm sure it's a mutual learning that we are going to have. We last but not the least, we also have Miss Akshita Gangwal with us. She is a specialist in craft and design and textile designing from the Indian Institute of Crafts and Design. And she's been working with artisans since then. She has her own venture named Akar, where she builds and enhances the skills of the artisans. And she is putting a lot of work towards enhancing the market and helping the artisans in the same way. And definitely enhancing our craft. And that's a field which we will definitely want to know much more about it. And she's also been awarded a senior position which she'll share with us during the conversations. Welcome, Akshita. Welcome. We are glad you're here today with us and looking forward for a lot of sharing. You're mute, Akshita. We can't hear you.
Thank you so much. It's a great opportunity. Thanks.
It's an opportunity for us to having you here with us today. And I'm sure the audiences who are there with us since I think now almost 5 to 6 days because we started long back. And this new you in 2021 will go on till 31st of December. So thank you to all the audience who really religiously join us every day at the same time. Once again, heartfelt thanks to all the audiences. So without delaying further, and because we will have a time glitch with us because there's a time duration we're bound with, we would want to go further, starting the conversation. Many of us, most of us rather, would know what are entrepreneurs, right? I'm sure our audiences would know what are entrepreneurs, a basic definition of business, how in India we define it. So asking you, Simran, what do you feel is social entrepreneurship? And how do you think it will help the holistic development in India, basically, society in India?
Okay. Speaking about social entrepreneurship, I think uh, being with social entrepreneur is like having social entrepreneurs in India is very important because they are the people who make sure that the solution reaches the last mile. Because
Right.
when you are because when you're a business entrepreneur, someone like that, like they have more of the professional needs, like they have more restrictions for exploration. But when you're a social entrepreneur, I think there are more avenues open for exploration as well, and there are more, and you can get, you are like, you can reach last miles, you can reach those places where normally the businesses can't reach. So
Right.
I think being social entrepreneur, like I'm just starting right now my journey, so I'm looking forward to learn from all of you. But the thing what excites me very much about this venture is
Mm-hmm.
to experience those life, is to experience those realities. And
Mm-hmm.
I really want to check after going there whether I can really withstand so much whatever is happening around, because it's very overwhelming when you don't, when you come yourself from a very comfortable and then you put yourself there, because you have a
Yeah.
lot of your comforts with you and you need to break down that. So I think it's a journey to learn, a lot of things to learn. So yeah, that's
Absolutely.
what I think about social.
Absolutely, Simran, very rightly said. It is a very different experience coming from a very comfortable zone and getting into an uncomfortable zone and helping others, right? Somewhere being a social entrepreneur, I think gives you the responsibility of working for someone else, right? Moving to Meghna. Meghna, what do you have to say about is your understanding of social entrepreneurship?
So for me, social entrepreneurship is a journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's exploring the road which is not taken by many people.
By many,
It's
right?
a
The best
very
take.
human, yeah, it's a very human centered approach wherein we go about empathizing with people.
Mm-hmm.
In the process, we try to understand what their pain points are,
Right.
and then we try to innovate and develop our unique product around the same, so that we are able to add value in their lives. And as a part of this process, I mean, that's what I have been practicing as a part of my journey with Swan, which is Skilled Workforce Advancing Nation, wherein we aim to empower youth who are coming from all the sections of the society, considering we have a lot of students who are coming from the economically sections of the society. So it all
Right.
goes about, empathizing with them, understanding their pain points, what is it that they need, what is it that is going to add value to them, and how can we collectively uplift the society at large. So that's how I would sum up social
The
entrepreneurship.
social entrepreneurship. And you do make sense the way you sum it up, because yes, somewhere the empathy is needed to get into a road less traveled. Very true. We move on to Akshita. Akshita, your views on the same, because I understand you've been working with artisans, and I'm sure you are doing it because of the empathy that you carry for them. So, what do you
Yes.
think is maybe your basic difference between entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship?
So for me, being a social entrepreneur, working with the artisan directly give me a lot of happiness. And yes, we need to have some funds or something in our hand to help to empathize others. We can't just talk and just empathize them. So I kind of the midpoint of serving others and earning at the same point for them is social entrepreneur. Because just by saying we can't do anything. Like I
Right.
got that later on. Like by just saying I can't get into their track. But to empathize, I need to earn for them itself so that I can contribute to their field. I can uplift them. I can uplift too many things. Like because for any positive change in the society, I need to invest. I need to invest myself there.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
this is my perspective towards it. So yeah.
So true. Your investment is your own you are investing yourself into it, right? That's so
Yes.
such a rightly said statement. And of course, actions speak louder than words. So saying would not help. Actions would
Yeah.
definitely.
Exactly.
Very excellently summarized, Akshita. Archana, can you hear us? You're back?
Yeah, back. Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, and
Continue,
I hope the
continue.
okay.
Okay,
I hope the
good.
network issues. Okay. was taken care of. So till now,
Yeah.
we were taking an opinion of our guest on how and what exactly is social entrepreneurship, and how is it different from being a normal entrepreneur. And it was a lovely way of how all the three of them had little different statements, but all leading to the same mission, I think. Absolutely fantastic. Do you want to say something, Archana, on this? What is social entrepreneurship as per you?
You first, I would like to introduce you. You have taken all the way time, and you're so busy with everything. And people should know who's moderating and who's there, and even they should know Pooja. Okay, so Pooja is IT professional turned entrepreneur, balancing fashion industry, social industry, social activist, and a beautiful person for personal growth and motivating people and being an icon. She is also an Indian ambassador, U Vision International, MD, Indian Icon Awards, Vice President, Koito Fatma, and a beautiful soul. So now our guest must be knowing as well who is there, who's conducting, and it's a privilege that you all four are here to rock the day. And I couldn't thank viewers, and I heard Pooja doing that. I was so feeling blessed that you're part of this organization and you're conducting it so well. You can continue with that. The only thing that when you say about social entrepreneur, it's about you and it's about me. It's all
Perfect.
about us.
या तो ये
So I
तुम
think
हो या
that
हम
makes,
social entrepreneurship.
yeah, it makes all the sense.
Absolutely fantastic summing up, guys. And thank you for the lovely introduction, Archana. Uh, trying to do
You're
my
always
bit,
welcome
guys.
here.
I'm just trying to do my bit, and I think till now reached to some level, and lots to do in the future, I'm sure. So that was great because we started and now we have Archana back. So I'm sure we rock more now, and we can share better now. Knowing you girls, actually, because you three look younger than me, although I'm the youngest. So, knowing you three girls, I really want to know. Personally, I feel very inclined, and I'm sure our audiences are also inclined to know that how and what about your personal journey, and from your personal journey, how did you reach to where you are today? I would really want you to share. Well, we can start with Meghna. Meghna, your personal journey, and how did you come with this idea of what you're doing today, and why only this? Why not something else?
Okay, so I am born and brought up in Delhi, and I come from a commerce background with my graduation in business economics honors and my master's in environment and development. And I also have a considerable good amount of experience of working with corporates and social in social sector. So while I have held a lot of my entire work is in handling operations of various department and project management, and also to build capacities of the people, the staff members of the unorganized sector. So apart from the training and managing the operations of a lot of skill development centers, so it was during my stint in the corporate and also the social sector, wherein I got to interact with a lot of students and also youth, young people, and also the employers who were hiring them. And consequently, I was associated, I was in very close touch, because I was in a very close touch with them. I used to interact with them a lot. It got me a chance to know about their pain points in a very in depth, I would say. So in an endeavor to resolve these pain points, because there were problems which were coming from the students used to share with me, there were problems their employers used to share with me. So, in an endeavor to resolve these pain points which were being faced by the young people and also their employers, that in a very systematic way, that led me to begin my venture Swan, which is Skilled Workforce Advancing Nation, in which we try to impart innovative training and learning program to youth coming from all the sections of the society, and by really understanding what is it that they are looking into and how can we bridge this gap of upskilling the students at the same time reducing the high attrition rate which exists in the market. So that's the entire story behind I finding, I mean, seeding, which led to the seeding of my venture Swan.
Very, very interesting. I would come back to you because in your story, there's a part that I would want to again talk about. I'll return to you on that, Meghna. Akshita, Akshita Gangawalji,
Yeah, yeah.
what was your journey and what took you to where you are today? And why was this your calling, or what age did you feel this is your purpose?
So basically, while my graduation itself, I was very much inclined to working at grassroots level with the artisans to understand their story, because I feel if I don't live their life or if I don't step into their foot and just experience what they are, I won't be able to get into the better solution for them. Of
Right.
and me being like from an urban sector like area and
Mm.
living in rural, I can actually define what difference or what the thin line in between, like thin line is. So that was my goal, to understand and live there. So I just chose to live in the rural sector, rural setup with the artisan itself, to work for them and eventually bring them up, because what we are like culturally we are because of the whole artisan sector. Like me being a designer, I can't contribute that much which an artisan could, because
Mm.
it is being given to him by his own genes, is the ancestral part. And I
Mm.
am what I am because I'm learning to become that. So I feel they have more power. I'm doing your job, like I'm being a moderator for them to like
Ah,
come in the field.
that's
That's it.
amazing. You're doing my part, but in a better way, and for people who really deserve it. So that's amazing,
Yeah.
Akshita. It's amazing that you chose that line, and being from the urban background, staying in the rural with the artisans. I'm sure
Yeah.
it wouldn't be a cakewalk for you. I'm sure it will.
It is sometimes, but it is fun as well because it is more like a retired life, way before.
Wow, wow, that's nice to know that generations now have these views, because otherwise, I think it was going somewhere else. And somehow,
Yeah.
all these talks that we are having really leaves me with very, very positive thoughts. I am so confident that coming India would definitely be a much, much, much better India for sure. Because I see this generation, your generation maybe, these generation, yours and beyond you, the generations which are coming ahead, right? If I just evaluate the last 3 years, we have seen lots of young people, the youth coming forward. Otherwise, this was not the case. Now the youth has solutions to problems. We used to see problems as problems, right? But the generations that you are in and the generations which are coming up are generations who come up with the solution. And these are people who say that, yeah, we will come and will do work for the society. At that age where we took a lot of time to understand our responsibility, to know the reforms wherever the reforms were required. So somehow, yeah, it's so positive. I feel very, very glad when I hear things like this from people like you. Thanks, Akshita. Yeah, so Simran, sorry, little more time with Akshita. Yeah, Simran, your journey, what made you reach where you are and why? What was the cause? What
Um,
you had that you should do this?
okay, so I just completed my graduation a
Okay.
few months before. Like I am an undergrad, and like in a graduate, before I was very much inclined into the industrial product designing, like getting into a hardcore product
Mhm.
aesthetics and all. But I got a chance to volunteer in various
Mhm.
organizations before, and there I went just for fun because I thought it's a great opportunity to interact with different foreigners and like going like it was a cross border exchange program. So after going over there, I realized that I really wanted to work for them.
Hmm.
I was because there some incidences happened here and there which made me like okay they're looking towards me that I can guide them somewhere or something like that. For
Hmm.
I will just share very small incidents here. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I was in Turkey, so
Hmm.
there were kids from 7 different languages in one room.
Okay.
So there were from Uganda, Syria, from everywhere. So it
Mm-hmm.
happened so that I was not able to communicate to them. So we had first planned that okay, we will work for 2 hours and then we will go out and party and chill. Because it was an exchange program, we did not had any something. We have to do something.
Right.
But but after going there, I want like I was very curious. Like okay, like why they have left their country and here came here, and then
Hmm.
I started to meet their parents, and their parents started to show me their papers from UN and everywhere, so that I can help them to get their card for staying in Turkey itself. And there were lots of different issues. And
Hmm.
slowly, I started to understand the whole system, how it was working over there. And I got very involved with them while working. And like before, and it was like totally onto us. If you want to work, we can work. It was not we on the document. We have to just write the thesis, but there I thought writing thesis won't make any sense because it's just stay on the paper. So yeah, like while I started working with them, I realized that I'm very like I don't know like what exactly, but I just thought that there are so many there are so many stories which is there in these children. Like they have seen so many things, but they are not able to communicate to us, like communicate to the world.
Hmm.
And I thought if I can be the medium of that communication, the stories coming from 7 different nations, and it can be something very remarkable learning for me itself, and also I think for the system who are responsible for their condition, like the economical or political condition. So yeah, that was the starting point when I realized that I was quite serious. Like I really want. It was nothing that I was like pushing myself, but it was something I was gradually wanted to do that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like, so after coming back, I started working with very different children, like specially able children, blue collar workers children,
Wow.
and and I wanted to manage my time while doing that. So it was something was very much in flow, and nothing coming from the authority that you have to do that. So it was coming with the flow. So I continued the flow. So yeah, right now
So
I
it would have been a great experience working and learning cross country, cross borders. Hmm?
it was yeah it was like very bias breaking experience. Like it broke lots of my biases which before I had about things. So I think the normal formal way I won't be able to have that experience which I had with working with those children. They taught me a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, so if I sum up your life journey till now, you're too young, but Turkey visit has made you sort of enlightened in your life, right? And you have understood your purpose due to that one inter-country cultural exchange program, right?
Yeah, can be. Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. And
Hmm.
how's it working with these not underprivileged, specially abled, right? Hearing
Hmm.
you had mentioned in your the profile that the people who
Hmm.
are able to hear you, they are specially able children who are there in Ahmedabad. How is it
Hmm.
working with them? Like, is that an easy? Because I think it would not be so easy. Although I'm not directly into it.
Hmm.
So how tough is that?
Like I really did not find it at all tough because
Okay.
it was that I think because they are very welcoming. Because I
Wow.
think the community it's so welcoming that I have celebrated Garba with them, had Holi with them,
Wow.
because so my whole main aim was to start up a on-campus store for them. So where they
Mm-hmm.
all the like it was one of the project which I took from our college CSR fundings and all we were doing started to do like that. So
Mm-hmm.
in this whole process, it's like they supported me a lot because I used to get tense very easily. I used to get overwhelmed very easily. Like, okay, अभी time नहीं है मेरे पास. When I'll go college, when I'll come back, and they used to like. They used to, because for communication they used to have only video call, because they used to speak me in sign language. They used to video call me and like calm me down and, okay, we will do that part of your work. You do that. So actually
That's
they
so
did
interesting.
amazing
Yeah,
job,
it's so
because I
interesting.
was very new. I was like very enthusiastic about, yeah, me, I'll do this, I'll do that. But after taking so much, I thought that, how will I manage my jury? How will I give my exams? But
Hmm.
they did so much. They did the whole stall construction thing. They managed the supplied, and they're very welcoming. And I never, and they, and also one thing which I just want to share, what I learned from them,
Yeah,
that like focus to details, like they like they used to explain me different movies through sign
hmm.
languages, different scenario. They used to narrate me different stories with sign languages,
Right.
and
Okay.
every because when we speak, we have very different meanings. But when they speak, they just they play with their hands
The
to
gestures, yeah,
express to me.
with the sign
And
language, right?
yeah, so I think it's a very intangible learning, but I got a lot from them. I think what I
So then
happen to give.
I think looking at you and hearing you, and I'm sure Akshita and Meghna will agree to what I say. You are over enthusiastic and you're really very charming. So that is the reason I think you did it so flawlessly, because the language they understand is love, and I think you're full of love for them. Right, Akshita? Right, Meghna? What say?
Yeah.
I don't.
That's what it looks like. But I'm happy. Yeah, but I'm happy, and you should take it forward, because I think you have that thing in you, that calling in you, that empathy in you for them, where you were able to manage so easily without even a what should I say, without even a sign of problem on your forehead that I could see. You were all very happy discussing, sharing about it. So kudos to you, yeah, doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
So till now, we've heard our guests talking about what is socio entrepreneurship, how is it different from normal in on business in our language or normal entrepreneurship, and we've heard their journeys. And listening to your journeys, yeah, it looks, I'm so overwhelmed, because every person, I believe, every human and every living thing has their own journey in this life. But your journeys are really, really very inspiring. I'm sure our audiences who are hearing will definitely at least listen to their soul once, to see what is their soul calling them for. So great. Now, going back to Meghna. Meghna, you shared about your journey of the skill development that you're doing in the youth, basically. Majorly, you're working with the youth. So, tell me one thing. The youth that comes to you, the skill development that you're doing for the youth, what kind of youth is it? Like, are they, from where do you have to groom them? From what level to what level?
So we started our operations by imparting skill-based trainings to the youth who were coming from economically weaker sections of the society, which means that these were the students who were actually 10th dropout, 12th pass,
Oh,
and we had designed a very comprehensive training and learning program for them, which had a mix of English learning skills, life skills, interview skills, workplace readiness related curriculum. And
hmm.
apart from this, we felt that because this is the section of the society who is actually very distressed. I mean, they lack access to a lot of things that we have, and the things that they don't have. So we imbibed psychological counseling as a part of also our training and learning program. So the comprehensive training program which we had for them culminated to a better understanding and increased cognitive capacity for them, and it was easier for us to interact with them, also their parents, so that whatever problem they faced, they used to communicate to us very easily, and we used to listen to them, we used to counsel them accordingly, and then we used to link them with various employment opportunities. So basically, these employers used to hire them for the frontline openings which they had in their organizations. So that
Okay.
formed one part of the training program. It was during the pandemic when we expanded our operations online by launching new upskilling training, online training and learning program for college students and also working professionals. So,
Okay.
that is also done by interviewing and also speaking to a lot of youth, just in order to try to understand the problems that they were going through during the time of pandemic when, everything came to standstill. So
Yeah.
we felt that a lot of so after speaking to them and also after speaking to the early stage working professionals as well, we launched a lot of a series of self-reflective learning and training workshops, uh, which had an element of creativity and also art into it.
Okay.
So we felt that art in the form of therapy, if can be used, it can be used for relaxation. At the same time, can be used in discovering oneself, which will help
Wow.
the person, the people to understand their capabilities and also their capacities to the fullest. So that's how we have been having a set of workshops, and during the new year, we plan to launch a series of 5 to 6 new workshops, which then again are based entirely on creativity, thinking patterns, and also a lot of self-reflection which will help people, youth, early stage working professionals, to understand themselves in a better way. So yeah, that's all about the trainings that we
And
have.
and as you said, Meghna, that you've been training youth who are a little underprivileged and who do not have all the facilities. So, do you also feel that this youth whom you're training, they can someday be social entrepreneurs themselves? Do you see
Yes.
that light in them?
Yes, I very well see light in them, and in fact, some of them also, show enthusiasm because they have shown their likeness towards art and craft based things. So
Okay.
they keep making really good stuff with basic training if we provide to them. We have shown extreme creativity amongst them, and I feel that all of them have the potential of becoming entrepreneurs
Yeah.
in some way or the other if we
Wow.
really support them in their journey of of achieving their passion, at the same time skilling them with basic needs or basic things that they require in order to launch the work which they are interested in doing. Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah, that's an enlightenment. That where we are just trying to help them today. Tomorrow they can be themselves the people who can help others. Right. That's a good thing. That's really a good start. Amazing.
They themselves can be job creators. Yeah.
Yeah, that's important. From being an not so well privileged to being a giver, an employer, or creating a vacant job for someone makes sense. I'm sure a huge work has to go in this. It's easier said than done, as Akshita had also mentioned. But I'm sure we are on the journey, so someday we would land up there where these people come forward and they take charge of their own societies, like we are doing right now. That's amazing. That's an insight. But thank you, Meghna, for the crisp and very to the point replies and very informative. Thank you so much, Meghna. Coming to you, Akshita, you have been working with artisans since long, you said. So,
Yeah.
so this didn't start during COVID, right? This was already going on. Pehle se hi.
Yes.
Okay. So, during the COVID, did you see some more challenges, or you felt the life was same and we could help them the way you used to help them earlier?
No, so come like there were two way around. So one was positive and one was bit like challenging. The positive was the artisans or weavers have accepted that okay, we don't have to migrate and we
Okay.
have to create jobs for ourselves to sustain in the society. So that
Right.
was a positive aspect that they were willing to accept, and more community was coming in the plan, and they were joining hands with us to like start weaving again and starting to like sustain their own,
Okay.
migrating to cities for construction job, labor job.
Hmm.
So
So
that
did
was a
this?
positive aspect we came across. And the challenging part was I had to come back to home and I have to operate like I have to remotely operate everything. So that was bit challenging, but somehow the institute helped me to just communicate with the weavers on field. So yeah, that was another challenge which we came over together. And yes, the weavers are weaving like amazingly at their home again. And I was very happy knowing that they have taken looms at their home. They started weaving at their home, or like
Wow,
no members from the community started joining me. So that was a great change. Like,
that's amazing. Also, share with us, Akshita, the award that you were given. You were awarded, right, for the work. So do
yeah.
share with us.
So initially, pardon, please.
Do share with us on that achievement of yours.
Yeah, so basically, I was being guided for this the project from one of my mentor that this is the thing which can be taken over and which can be like worked upon. So I was very much interested as soon as I heard all the aspect of the project. So I just went on for 3 months as to just do Reiki and see the possibilities, see the aspects to what can be done and all. And within 3 months, we were we had a lot of things in our hand already. Like it was very
Wow,
quick. The 3 months were too quick for us, like very, very quick.
that was really
So
quick.
yeah, it was. So as soon as the institute saw our success, they have awarded me with a fellowship that I can work for a longer period of time, and they will look for like my basic necessities for a while.
Hmm.
So that was basically a fellowship given by them to me to just hold on the project and as like to take the project forward and to make it more sustainable for the villagers itself. Then they can again become the job offerers rather than getting a job.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah. So just
That's really
working on
I'm,
it.
can I ask Akshita something?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Sunil. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
conversation.
So,
Open.
yeah. So I wanted to know, like, what. I just wanted to know how Reiki and your project got linked. Like, how Reiki helped
Uh,
exactly.
So Reiki helped me to identify the weavers in the locality and to convince the weaver that they like. So basically, nobody can trust you as you go. They need time to they blend in. They need time to talk. Everything they want to know me more so that they can trust. They can blindly come to work for me and things like that. So that helped me to identify to build confidence more at grassroots level to sit and have food. Basically, having food with them is what all they need. So if you had food with them, they automatically come into trust zone. Like they automatically start trusting you because one thing which they have in their mind is no urban people will sit with us like with us to have food. So when you just break that biasness in you and you sit down with them at whatever place, at whatever they're eating, just have it because it's not something which is very much it's very desi, like it is all very organic food.
I like that word, huh? Desi. It's very
So
desi.
it's yeah, so it's more like organic food only. But
Yeah.
people nowadays have problem with that thing as well. They need all RO water and many things. So when you go with them, like when you blend with them, so the Reiki helped me to blend in more and to develop that trust and the bond between me and the viewers so that they can come down to me and like come down to the academy to work. And yeah, so this was one thing. And like, so when you go to any village, if the fever even get convinced to work, the other people will ask start filling his ears with bad rumors to skip the
Mhm.
work to what a lot of things. So you
Yeah.
need to try like develop that level of confidence with the one whom you are working with. And if that is developed and if the person know through and through ki, okay, you are a reliable person, you can be trusted. So
Mhm.
that helped. The 3 initial months helped me to do all this. and to start building everything.
I'm sure this Reiki is required, yeah, before doing anything, rather. We have to do that research from our own
Yeah,
end,
yeah,
understand where we are going. And I'm sure that's the reason Simran would be looking forward to how it helps, because she is just started that journey.
yeah.
So I'm sure she's looking at it from that point of view. That's nice. So did you ever feel, although I see all of you, the three of you, very positive, very in love with what you're doing, right? I see that clearly. But do you anytime? Oh, Simran, you're back. You had a network
Yeah,
problem, Simran?
yeah. Actually, my yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Okay. So are you convinced
It's
with
done.
your
It's
reply?
now okay. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So she meant what Akshita meant by Reiki was the research that she did, the thesis that she did, going there, identifying whom she's going to work with and how she's going to work with, basically, knowing their ways of adjusting to life and living in life, and then accommodating herself there, as she said, investing herself in them, and that's how she made it happen. So that's great. So I was coming to the next question. This is at a personal level, I want to know. I see all of you very positive, very much in love with what you do. बट वो होता है ना, क्या कभी तुम्हारे दिमाग में नहीं आता that यार इतनी मतलब sometimes where you just at the bottleneck and you feel that why did I do this? Why did I start this? Do you genuinely ever have those questions? You know
Not
what? It's a very temporary thing, but do you have it? Does
So
it
I
for
come?
think
me.
that yeah, Akshita, you would like to go?
You can start.
Okay, so I think that's a very interesting question that Pooja has shared. So I completely resonate with it because mine is a very new startup. It's so I started my operations in January this year, and
Okay.
it was it was during the time of when we were having. So I am based out of Delhi, so there were rains, peak cold season, and we were going in community to do our baseline research of things. And this season was followed by the protests which were happening in the city, which made communities inaccessible to even go into to further create like Akshita mentioned the kind of trust that is required, wherein you actually have to venture out into communities to speak to people, their families, of what we are trying to do for them. So all of that happened, but because we were so passionate about it, we did not give up. We still went into the communities. We spoke to a lot of people, their families, their students, and slowly we started getting a lot of students by word of mouth, and also from the benefits which they saw through our training program. And my startup is incubated in Delhi, in Ambedkar University, Delhi. And
Okay.
I also, so based on my business model, I also received an initial seeding fund from them,
Oh,
investment, like Akshita also mentioned. So
yeah.
yeah, so that's how our operations were. Like I also mentioned before, but during the time of pandemic, it was a really challenging job for us
Yeah.
because it was like jobs were going. I mean, there was a massive firing that was happening, and then specifically for the frontline staff members, and
Right.
also it was a complete disruption because the technological divide was so much that many of the students did not even have basic telephones with them,
Yeah.
so that we could impart them with the trainings. So uh, but somewhere we felt I mean we so I strongly felt for the problems that the students were going through, that the external environment that we were going through did not make much difference. And I think it was the passion to solve uh, the problems that they were going through, and also help them out in some way or the other, so that they sail through at least this situation, was the driving factor for me, which continuously led me to develop more upskilling program for them, continuously think upon new ways, innovating new ways in which we can be in touch with them, be in touch with the communities, and also seek venues in which we can also reach out to many more youth who might be looking for avenues to find themselves out and maybe upskill themselves based on the future needs and requirements. So that's how I would like to
So
answer your question.
what I get to know from you, Meghna, correct me if I'm wrong, is that during the tough times, your problem was less for you. So because you were focusing on others' problem, that was a bigger social problem for you.
Yeah.
That's an amazing way of taking it. Kudos to you. At this age, you could empathize that much with them and take it forward in this with this passion and trust in yourself. That's good. Yeah, Akshita, you were also sharing something. Did you ever have this, or maybe somebody in the family said, yeah,
I think that question is necessary to stick to the ground. If you don't question that again and again to you, you won't actually work for that. And for me, answering that question is more like helping others because I feel satisfied. So basically, my sleep is important to me, and I
wow.
sleep well because after seeing happiness like after giving happiness to others. So if I see happiness, I like if I give happiness and if I receive the same, I feel satisfied and I have a good sleep at the same. So yeah, so that is one thing for me. Like, and like
That is
I
something.
just wanted to share a small incident which happened
Why
to me
not?
like just 4 days back. So one
Yeah.
of the viewer called up. I was like, "What happened? Is everything going well or what?" So he was like, "I don't know from like out of I really don't know कहाँ से वो आता है, but he just said he is very grateful to me that I was there for them for that in their tough times because when the migration was going on, all the laborers were off their job, but our weavers had a lot of work to do, and
Hmm.
so everything was going well for them. So he was like, "Thank you for everything. Thank you for providing things to us. Thank you for giving us job. I'm very grateful." I was like, "I didn't did anything. You were the one who helped me to set up the whole loom and everything." So I feel really nice, good. It was very overwhelming for me to listen that from the viewer. I was like, okay, I am here for some purpose, and I'm doing that for at least for a person who have recognized. I don't know how much, like how well it is, but yeah, it just made me happy for a while. Like even now, when I think of it, I feel happy. So yeah,
It's seen on your face. The enthusiasm with which you talk and you were just sharing this incidents with is, and I think this is priceless. You just mentioned that I don't know how important it is, but I think it's priceless. Yeah, because see, anything that can be uh, anything that has a price is not that valuable, right? So these are
yeah,
the feelings that are just priceless. Absolutely
exactly.
priceless. Because this feeling that you just said, ki you love your sleeps and you're able to sleep when you do something good for the society, right?
Yeah,
Similarly, that's what I used to say to my students who come, who take me as their mentor. I always tell them that it should always be whenever you look into the mirror, you should be like you should be able to face into the
face
eye.
exactly.
So if you're not able to face yourself into the eye, there is where you need to do something else, something a little more than what you're doing. So it is something similar to what Meghna had mentioned, considering their problems larger than self, like you just
True.
mentioned, satisfying your soul. Absolutely. I think it's amazing to have you people here, and I'm sure the audience who are listening, they would be inspired. And that is how what we were just talking, that the coming generations will be the reasons, the foundations for a better India. And I think people like you who are inspiring them, I don't know if the names would be remembered, but I'm sure for those people who are getting inspired, they will always remember your names because they'll remember your story.
Yeah.
Sim, yeah, Simran, your point. कभी ऐसा लगा sometime did you feel that ये क्यों या किसी ने बोला हो घर पे फ्रेंड्स ने that what किस लाइन में घुस गई यार you had a brighter future and why not with us in a bank or in any other commercial employment or something.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, before saying something, I'm really like inspired by Meghna and Akshita. So it
Amazing.
was something I got a very good insight about how I should also react in future if I get into such things. But yeah,
Wow.
like so. This question is constantly being asked to me by my
Mhm.
parents, by my friends every time, every now and then.
Okay.
So Yeah, and especially my classmates, it was a time that I was very demotivated because everyone had a very great internship, and I did not opt for an internship. I opt to
Okay.
work with specially able children. So at that time also, I had a lot there were lots of questions from the jurors too and everything, and
I'm
and at
sure.
that time I realized that most of the question are, like I did not had answer to most of them.
Hmm.
And I realized that okay, I'm doing this, but I really don't have answer to why I'm doing this. So actually, at one point of time, I thought that okay, I did not have clarity, frankly speaking. And today
Right.
also, I'm just like today I have clarity over some things, but I don't have clarity over many things. But I have clarity about uh, the thing that. Uh, why I want to do this and how I want to do this. So yeah, this is question which is very asked, and I am very like now making sure that I'm not affected by those questions, but I do get affected because around me there is lots of great things happening, and I do get distracted. But something happens, and but the end of the day, I still want to work for this. I get distracted for the moment, but end of the day, I start working for this. When I start working for this, those distractions don't come to me anymore. So I think that happens for a moment time, but I don't know
Momentarily,
really.
yeah, momentarily
Like,
that moment comes, right? And that's very
still,
honest, I, Simran. And I think that's very human to accept it because it comes. It's not only with being a social entrepreneur, even in normal lives, yeah. Many times we regret, not
Mhm.
actually regret, but those thoughts come that, is it right? Was there something else that I could have done? So that will always be there till the time we're humans, till the time we're alive, till the time our brains are working, and influences are there around us. So things
Mhm.
keep happening for sure. I'm sure it keeps happening. But one thing is very nice, Simran, because you know what you want to do and why you want to do, right? So how is very clear,
Mhm.
yeah. These are the two most important things that you should know. And you know both of these. So how, but clear ho jayega in the coming days, I'm sure. And now you have people to look up to.
Yeah. Actually, I want to ask you, three of you, one
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
that,
Yeah, Simran.
yeah, actually, this used to happen in starting with me a lot that I used to get into a lot of guilt thing because
Ah,
what I've promised them that I will make sure that this thing will happen and this thing will do. So
hmm,
most of the time it happened that when I was there outside in Turkey, so my visa got completed. I have to come back. So I handed over to someone else, but they did not do here. So when I was in Ahmedabad, I came back to Mumbai. So I handed over to someone else, but they were not able to do there. So I got in a very guilt thing that oh, I have promised them so much, but I was not able to do that. And
hmm,
still I have that guilt with me that oh like मैंने उनको बताया था कि I'll do that but they don't have anything with me grudges with me like they were like it's okay we know this did not happen due to pandemic but I thought that this could have happened if someone have like कर लेते वो लोग तो but but I somewhere feel that lack in my work I feel that guilt factor while communicating too like आई फील वेरी सॉरी लाइक क्यों मैं ये नहीं कर पाई या क्यों मैंने जो प्रॉमिस किया था आई डिड नॉट डू दैट सो हाउ यू ऑल डील विद इट सो आई वांटेड टू आस्क
yeah, Meghna, Akshita, who wants to answer
Yes.
this? Go ahead.
So maybe if I have understood the question rightly, I feel that one way to do is by empowering the other person. And if you empower the other person in the right way, in the way in which they are wanting to work, or maybe in the way in which they understand the problem, becomes very easy to actually delegate your work, I can say, or maybe make uh, them work on that thing which they really care about, or maybe the task which they are wanting to achieve for themselves, or maybe for you. So I think instead of, by just saying that, you are going out and this task has to be done by someone else, if you can further empower them in through various ways. It could be, by through your own knowledge, through your own expertise, through the skills, the kind of skills that you use in your work, or maybe the way you communicate with them, that in turn can help them to have a better understanding about themselves, and also the kind of work they would be interested in doing, and also the work which they are interested in doing. Also, secondly, I mean, it's always good to, have mentors with you, mentors who can guide you, mentors who can assist you when you feel stuck in certain situations. Because if you look up to someone and you feel that he or she is your role model, and that person has been with you throughout, uh, and also knows about your work very closely, they will be in a better position to, connect you with more like-minded people who will further be able to assist you in the kind of work which you are doing. So I guess, I mean, I can think of these two for the meanwhile. Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh, So I agree with Meghna. I totally agree with her that like these are obviously a point, but being a designer, we are being taught with a methodology which we always follow to solve any design problem or anything. What you can just do it, fit that problem, try to put that problem in the whole cycle, and try to reiterate with your solution and the options you can just brainstorm around. And sometimes you always have some solution in your proximity, but you don't open up with your problem itself. So just open your problem, talk about it, and research a bit more. You will get your solution, because there is nothing you can't get by just researching or just talking to people. And yes, for me it always worked to talk to my batchmates or my colleagues for all the, like, discussing the problem itself is a solution. So you can
Mm,
just to discuss the thing again, reiterate, and you'll get definitely gonna get the solution.
yeah,
So
true.
yeah, Simran, you've got technical answers from two of our people who are already into this. So Meghna and Akshita are already into this, so they could give you a technical way out. Like empowering others is one of the very strong points, which not only in your field, in every field matters a lot. Because the more you empower others, the more they are helpful to you. They are your pillars, then, right? And definitely the other one, be open, because once you open up with the problem, half solution is there in it, right? So with those two technical answers that you got, I'll just give you one very soulful answer. When your intent is clear, right? See, you wanted to help, you couldn't. So your intent was clear, right? Intent सही होना बहुत जरूरी है. Having a right intent is the start of anything in life, right? So till the time your intent is right, don't feel guilty about it. Time, times it is time, at times it is situations which don't let things happen. In spite of having the right intent, in spite of having the right content, in spite of having the will to do it, in spite of empowering the others, things don't happen, right? So don't worry about it and don't be guilty about it. The thing that should give you strength is that your intent was right. You did not fake it that you wanted to help. You were real, right? You really wanted to help, but you couldn't. So अपना intent जब तक सही है, stay with your right intent. Trust me, in the times to come, you will see how your, जैसे बोलते हैं ना, karma pays a lot, right? So karmas actually actions होते हैं, but उससे ज़्यादा intentions भी होते हैं. So if your intent is right, you will see how it comes back to you in a very, very good way, right? And you'll see all your problems getting resolved. Great,
Thank
great,
thank you
a
very much,
great,
everyone.
great. Yeah, man, it was like I am so much into the conversation. It doesn't look like I'm the moderator. I'm moderating. It's more of a conversation, and it's very healthy. I would connect up with all the few of you offline. Absolutely fantastic talking. Now, moving forward, I would also want to touch upon before we, although there's a time limit, but still, before we move towards the closure, I would want to know the challenges that you face. That, like, generally, even when we talk about business, there are basic challenges: funds, staff, then location, the area, land, right? So, what are the problems or challenges that you faced in your own social entrepreneurship ventures, rather? We can start with anyone volunteering.
Okay, so I'll start. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. So, right from having a team in place to figuring out and strategizing on the operations, um, figuring out a place, logistics, everything thing looks very easy on papers when we are actually beginning with the work. But yes, definitely those things were challenging for me when I started off my with my operations, but slowly and steadily, because we were passionate about solving the problems that we were trying to resolve, that we that many people came to us for support, and in the process, in this journey, we also met a lot of like-minded people who eventually constituted to be our team. uh, we also received in if I talk about women entrepreneurs specifically, one of the things which I felt was that I needed to find some mentors for me, some like-minded people, so that who with whom I can actually discuss and also share strategies, because mine was a very new venture, and we were I mean, it was just 3 months that we landed up in a situation when the entire thing got disrupted, specifically due to COVID, wherein we had to move everything online from an in-class setup. So I felt that having meaningful connects in the form of mentors who can really guide you on how can you sail through this situation in a better way, and can be your guiding light in terms of formulating and helping you out with these strategies, just to ensure whether the decision that you are making for yourself is right or not, is something which I felt was very important for me at the time of pandemic. So yeah, that's the thing that I would like to share.
Okay. That was insightful challenges that you're facing. So for the viewers, they should have an idea of how to deal with challenges that come in your life. Best is to have mentors who've been through that road earlier. I
Yeah.
think they can guide you through where not to step and where to seek help. Akshita, your challenges, although yours was
Uh,
like a soft journey, nice one.
so yeah, all the challenges were after a time it was been resolved, but the major challenge in beginning was tribal language.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was one thing, but somehow I knew Gujarati, so it blended in a bit. So
Okay.
yeah, it was like I used to like talk in breaks, and they used to understand me. They used to get me, and same with them. They used to try convincing to me, like to make their words understood to me. So yeah, one is that. Another, initially, like very initially, getting into the lifestyle was bit difficult because I was not used to it, like with the food habits, with everything. But slowly, my body like helped me to do everything. Like it accepted the location, it accepted the nature. So yeah, that was thing. I can't remember more. Like it was all been solved
That's
very
nice. So
well.
that gives another reason to people. It's not only the external challenges that you face, right? It's even your health that does go through a troll at times, right? But you need to take
Yeah.
that. That's also a very valid point. Simran, did you face any challenges till now? Although yours is a very short journey till now, and I'm sure you'll have a long one. But till now, did you face any challenges in the same field?
Yeah, like I don't know whether I should call it as a challenge or not, uh, because that was something I am very grateful for that it happened. So,
Wow.
so yeah, like when I was back in the exchange program, so in Turkey, so I wanted because the kind of audience we had where was very good. Like the other colleagues of mine were very good, and I wanted all of them to work with me for refugees. But when I was trying to like get into them in the projects, I somewhere saw like somewhere I saw like the person who was handling the project, he doesn't wanted me to do that. Like there were
Oh,
small challenges which I did not thought that which will erupt. Like someone had the ego clashes with me, and someone like, how
Right.
can you take over this thing, how can you, but while I was doing that, I was not able to understand like, why something is not happening and why something is not. But then I thought that I will, but then too I wanted to at least try that, because they were very intelligent people. Like they were from Canada and all different countries, and I wanted them to do something for them. So I
Right.
just tried to have a presentation and present it to them. And I just left upon the people who wanted to come or not, because at that time I just faced so many different. Like they said me that they will have the laws against me if I do that.
Yeah.
They will complain that I'm going to that area which is restricted, and they said me so many
Okay.
different things that I got very scared. Like, okay, I'm alone in this country. I don't want to get stuck. But then too I got some contacts here and there, and then I went there and we all did. And after going over there, my other friends actually joined me. Like there were five people from different countries who came over there with me. We all don't speak any common language, but we still were working together. So
Okay.
I think everything eventually fall into place. But I got very scared with the comments, what was happening around. So
Listening to you now, Simran, I'm sorry, I'm smiling because I think Meghna will relate to it, and even Akshita with their experiences. These are problems which come in every, like we've been through corporate
yeah,
backgrounds, right? These are the starting stone problems होते हैं ना, जब आप पत्थर होते हैं उसमें तुम पैर रखते हो, तो ये तो जर्नी की शुरुआत है बच्चे.
yeah.
You nice things. I'm sure these will teach you a lot of things, but trust me, I don't know. Talking about my experience, like I've been before being, as Archana had mentioned, I am an IT professional turned entrepreneur. So I'd spent a lot of good decade in IT, that is NIIT company, where the journey that I had there and the learnings that I had there, trust me, was tough one, but the best ones. Seriously, now life looks very easy because when you have been through that tough phase now, and those mentors, they're actually my mentors. I really am in touch with all of them because they are your real mentors who teach you the tough roads, who tell you to walk on the tough roads, right? So just remember to follow mentors who actually who believe in your wellness, will always give you tough things to do. So don't get panicked, don't lose hope, and things will be, I'm sure, for all of us, it will be very great coming next year. So as the time is moving to an end, before the closure, one more very important thing. As you all would know, that Archana was here with us. She's the founder of the Miracle Rituals, and this new me was her concept that she founded. And in the new me, what she I wanted to really appreciate her, but she's not online due to some network glitch. But I'm really thankful for the much needed topic that she's picked up, right? And she focuses on how to be new you by yourself. He doesn't get your external factors to make you new, right? So relating with the new me in 2021, before we end, I would want each one of you to give some message that says how you would be a new you in the new year 2021. We start with Simran. You can start.
Uh, I need time to think.
Okay, we'll come back to you.
I I go last.
Yeah, okay. Akshita, how would
Okay.
you be a new you? What is it that you would, what change or what innovation or whatever that you feel will make you a new you in the new year?
So
Or
I'm
maybe
just more
random.
concentrated. So
That's
it's
fine.
like I'm more refined with my goal, like more concentrated goal. So I know what would be the stepping stone. Matlab, I can build my stepping stone because I have a more clear vision as of now. So like which like the whole pandemic have given a lot of thoughts in me, like a lot of thoughts with my work, with my career, with my life, everything. So I'm kind of just like made the whole new goal which I have to achieve, and maybe I can be that by just maybe some better habits. Like I am a bit short tempered sometimes, so I'm just working over it. So yeah, one is that which sometimes create a problem for myself, like me, like being me. So yeah, so I'm just working over it, and that's it. Like, yeah.
So great. For Akshita, for our audiences, just reiterating, for Akshita, the new Akshita would be is a person with clarity of vision and maybe some tidbits, some little changes that are very personal to her, which she might get in herself. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Akshita, for that. Meghna, can we hear the new Meghna in 2021? What would it be?
So I see myself practicing art, being more creative, and empowering many more people around me, and seeing that big smile on their faces. So that's how I see or imagine the new me for 2021. Yeah.
So you, for Akshita, it is bringing smiles to people's faces. किसी की मुस्कुराहटों पे हो निसार, किसी का दर्द मिल सके तो ले उधार.
बिल्कुल.
यही है ना हम, aren't we this? We are actually this. किसी के वास्ते हो तेरे दिल में प्यार, जीना इसी का नाम है. Simran, I gave you a little more time. So now what's
No,
the news in
it's okay.
2021?
Uh, so recently I've started Vipassana meditation. So I
Okay.
want to make sure I stick to it every day.
Mhm.
And I just want to like my main goal is to stick to meditation because I think uh, this can be the root. It can solve from the roots, and also like take more challenges because I think I'm getting more comfortable. So yeah, take more challenges ahead.
Wow, that's amazing. You took time, but you're bang on. So Simran will be taking up more challenges, and she is liking the challenging role she is in. That's very very optimistic. And none of you asked me, yaar, what would be new food?
Yeah,
Nah?
I was waiting to ask
Oh
you.
yes,
Sorry,
now it's your turn. Now it's your turn. Yeah.
yeah. So new me. See, the 2020 till like my life has been a roller coaster. Like I've been very busy, obviously with a lot of years, decades of working. Yeah, but this 2020 taught me a lot on health. So new me is going to be more health conscious of self, of others, for sure. And people have it is not for only people who matter. I think people whoever is known to me, whether they are people for whom I'm working, whether they are the underprivileged people for whom I'm working. So maybe even health needs a focus. For me, this year would be health would be a big major focus area for everyone. And
I
before we, yeah, Simran, you have to say something.
No, now I was saying you are glowing too, so I think you have already banged on your.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. See, females always like compliments, right? So I'm always open to compliments. But yeah, I personally telling all of you, it was a great session to know you people as souls. See, I do not interact with people seeing them how they are, right? For me, I when I interact with each one of you, you are individual souls. So felt that connect, and I really like each one of you. Are very positive, very like we say now. You should do something that you love, right? Not love something that you do. So you people are doing what you already love. That's the best part of all the three of you. I wish you a lot of success. Stay in touch. I am definitely inspired by you, and I'm sure Archana is going to have a lot of questions based on the session today in her inbox, and then she'll get in touch with all of you. Before we close, I would like to thank our collaborators, Atmanirbhar Bharat, Poetic Atma, Forever Empowerment Foundation, Voice It Out, and there are many more. Thank you for all the collaborators. Apologies if I missed out some names. And thank you, Archana, for putting us all on the same platform and getting us here for this lively must best session, because there was this, as per me, this was very much needed because people still do not know what is social entrepreneurship. So, and when I see young girls going forward with it, I'm sure you're going to inspire many, many more. So stay blessed, stay successful, and stay in touch. And for our audience, thank you so much for being with us and listening to us. Do come back to us with your queries, and we ensure we'll get back to you on it. Thank you, Archana. Thank you, Meghna. Thank you, Akshita. Thank you, Simran. Glad to
Thank
be here.
you.
Thank
Same.
Thank
you.
you.
Very
Same
You
pleasure
have
with
to
been
be
us.
a
part of
wonderful
this.
moderator. Yeah.
Happy New Year. Merry
Yeah.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Take care, guys.